Hi everyone, welcome back. Self-talk. Now this comes in two varieties, positive and negative. I'd like you to think about which one do you tend towards, which one do you lean more towards? For me, throughout my life, you might guess, if you've watched any previous videos, I have a tendency towards negative self-talk. So this comes out in the form of statements like you are or you're such a blah blah blah. So like what an idiot, you're so stupid, why did you do that? That kind of thing. I think I've improved on it a lot in the last few years, but it still creeps in from time to time. Now, positive self talk would be things more like, oh, well done. Like, I did it. Yes. Like that kind of positivity. Like feeling good about yourself for doing something good or something positive, congratulating yourself, rather than beating yourself up when you don't achieve a certain standard. So I found that um, language is so important. It's more important than people realize. So, like, if you think about what you're doing, you're like, who are you talking to? You're talking to yourself, right? And what you say to yourself becomes internalized. Like, your subconscious latches onto it and it becomes part of your beliefs. So, if you're repeating the same negative things, it's going to get wired into your brain just in the same way that if someone kept telling you what a horrible person you were, especially if it was like a close relative or friend, and they kept telling you like how bad you were, there's quite a chance that you're going to take that in and believe it, right? So it's the same if you're doing it to yourself. Um, so you want to be really careful about the language you use when you talk about yourself to yourself or to others, because who's listening? You, right? I think it's very important that, particularly for things like illnesses or diseases that may apply to you, that like I really don't think it's a good idea to be saying things like my depression or my broken leg or my disease, my illness, etc. because there's power in the words that you use. Um, and if you're saying my and attaching it to something negative, then essentially you're reinforcing that, and you're kind of telling yourself that that's who you are, that's your identity, which also implies that it's either very hard to change it, or you can't change it, or you won't change it. So be careful when you say things like my blah blah blah, because that could be you could be doing more damage there. So instead, we want to be looking at congratulating ourselves on when we do something positive, and if something negative happens, um, we have a look at it. Like, did we do our best? If we did, great. We're less focused on the result, and it's like, well, okay, what can I learn from this? So there's always a positive way to look at things and to talk about things, but it's a choice and it takes training. And believe me, like it takes some unlearning, but it's worth it. So let me know how you get on with that. Do you tend towards positive or do you tend towards negative? Let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.